So it's time to give you my takeaways and wrap this up. It's going to take me a minute more. A little bit about how I learned. I have no training in educational theory, but I hope I give you some clues, something you'll know what to do with. Here's me learning. I experience thinking as a language is. Let's try that again. I experience thinking as a language of images, sensations, feelings, and metaphors, more than words, sentences, logic, symbols. My memories, they're not facts or words or judgments. They're more like dramatic scenes with location shots, characters, lighting, my costume, weather, what I felt. I relive them to remember. And I process thoughts almost like manipulating physical objects. Numbers are like blocks that snap together, fitting like Legos. Music, in my mind, vines and intertwines in space. I remember language more clearly when I handwrite or make notes in book margins. Things I can touch or imagine I can touch are most real to me. Memorizing words, symbols, nah. Get me into the process, the sensations. To some autistics, some of this will sound familiar. Like, doesn't everybody? Others are more at home with symbolic logic. I learn differently than other folks. I need to understand. I need to co-invent. If I don't understand something from the inside, it doesn't exist for me. I learn new categories of knowledge somewhat slowly, like switching to base 8. Switching from clock faces to digital clocks, what a freaking nightmare. But once a new area opens up to me, I seem to associate the skills and the concepts with other related knowledge more rapidly than most folks. Even come up with new solutions. Supposedly thinking outside the box. The box blew the line, man. Take music, art, and literature. Rhythm, texture, line, shading, repetition, variation, direction, structure. Really, it's all pretty similar. I switch from one to another. For some, it's the same with math. Director Tim Burton might be autistic. He made Edward Scissorhands and The Nightmare Before Christmas. Physicist Albert Einstein might be too. He made Relativity. And shows up on the Brainy Quotes website a real lot. How we explain the ecstasy of that process to ourselves and others, probably different. How can we help today's autistic kids not to get lost in the system like I did? And it shouldn't matter what their capabilities are, whatever their special passions are. We need an autistic education centered on autistic natures. By engaging the power of autistic specializations and passions, and then building further, using those skills, concepts, and similarities to teach new areas, not trying to make them learn like other brains learn. And by providing structure to learning in a different way, by doing, using the joy of process rather than goals like tests or papers or A's or competition ranking. I was gifted. I was the freak because my disabilities were invisible. What school expected of me, more than I could handle. There's no question I came from privilege, and yet I was disabled. Even if so many of you listening or folks you care for are even more disabled. For myself, I don't compare disabilities. It's not a contest. I failed to thrive. Other gifted kids fail to thrive. I have no clue who suffers most. Does it matter? Look, there are groups of kids, for various reasons, that education marginalizes. There are kids suffering. Address their needs. School isn't a triage unit on a battlefield. We don't prioritize who survives and who doesn't. I hope. You see a kid in pain, deal with the pain. I thought I'd end on an important side point. I write about childhood experiences a lot with purpose. It's a great meeting ground. Who doesn't love kids? So parents of autistic kids, professional caretakers, and adult autists, when we share notes, childhood memories, experiences, and our own thoughts on them, you get a peek into the mysterious world your autistic child inhabits, the joys, the wonders, the fears, the challenges, the victories. And honestly, I write about kids because I get to turn again and again to my earliest memories to recover my own natural joy. May this generation never lose it. Okay, that's a wrap.
That's awesome. I'm sitting here in the dark. I had to do theater lighting. And like, I feel like I need to listen again and watch again to just peel back some of the layers, because we were seeing a lot of claps and hearts and, just responses. And that's, I think, why I like listening to you so much. And I know this was hard to do live because you present such a polished, beautiful podcast, and
yeah,
you did a remarkable job. I'm like, to do that live is very hard, right, Maddie? Like, so hard.
Yeah. I just want to say, Johnny, just blown away, honestly, every time listening to you. I have for a long while now, and your style, the words, just the backstory of you, it's such a privilege to have you here. And writing myself and spoken word and the sound of words, I'm just like,
Maddie, that means a lot.
Just take it all in, man. Like future collaborations and stuff out of here, but it's such a pleasure, honestly, man. I enjoyed that, and a lot to think about as well. So I'm just having such sensory joy with what I've just witnessed, and I'm sure everybody.
That's really cool. I mean, because you feel like you're pissing into the void. You know what it feels like.
Yeah, man. Yeah. That's the thing, in that stream of consciousness, and I felt that while you were doing it. And my style of things as well is really that authentic connection and trying to connect the thoughts. So doing it live, it's like this disconnect, right? But I felt you with it. I feel that in the way you express, and now it's a real joy and pleasure, man. But yeah, I feel you. It's surreal, isn't it? Very surreal. Yeah.
Absolutely. I did feel naked without the reverb, I'll be honest.